Hey guys, in today's video I am going to be sharing how to make these Philly cheesesteak sloppy joes and some bacon wrapped jalapenos, and then stick around at the end. I'm going to be showing a super quick and yummy dessert that only takes 2 ingredients and my kids love them. So I'm going to get started with the sloppy joes. While I'm chopping everything, I should have put the ground meat in the pan, but I forgot, so I'll do that in the middle of chopping everything. But first you're going to want to ground your meat. I use ground turkey just because that's what I prefer. However, I believe the recipe does call for ground beef. So either way, just any kind of ground meat. So while the meat is cooking, you will chop up your ingredients. I switched out the cutting board just because the white wasn't doing well on the camera. It really is like highlighted, so I just switched out the chopping boards. I don't like this one because it moves around a lot, but it will work. So I chopped up the onion. I did probably about a half of an onion, and then 1 green pepper. You want to take out the seeds and all the insides and then chop that up. And then also some mushrooms. I believe just like the package is like 8 ounces. So I'll take the stems off of those and chop those as well.
Baby, time to figure out what this could be. I dreamt of a life in a small town that wasn't enough for you somehow. I just wish I had a little more time with you, baby. Weeks and months and years they passed, and I knew it wouldn't last. When tears streamed down my face, my mama said, all the nights that end in heartbreak gonna pay off someday, and the pain that you're feeling.
So I felt like you guys didn't need to see me cutting up all of those mushrooms, so I cut some of it out and saved you some time. But once everything is all chopped up, you're going to add it to the pan with the meat. My meat was frozen when I put it in, so it's probably going to take a little bit longer than yours would. But you want to make sure the meat gets browned, and then put some butter in the pan. You can take the meat out if you want, or you can leave it in there. I just left it in there for convenience. So I have the meat in there, and then I put some butter and then the vegetables, and kind of just let it all cook in the pan together. Once the meat was a little softer and not so frozen, I went ahead and just chopped it up in the pan, and the vegetables just continue cooking. And then once it's all cooked, you kind of just mix it all together.
All the nights that end in heartbreak gonna pay off someday.
So while that is cooking, I am going to start preparing the jalapeno poppers. I went ahead and washed them, and then I'm going to cut off the stems and slice them all in half. And then you're going to want to take out the insides of the jalapenos. I try not to use my hands as much as possible, because if you've worked with jalapenos before, then you know if you touch the seeds, no matter how many times you wash your hands, if you touch your eye, it's still going to burn. So I try to avoid that as much as possible. So I just use a butter knife to scrape out all the insides, making sure to get all the seeds, because that's what's going to make them spicy. So if you do want them spicy, I guess you could leave a little more seeds in there. However, I try to take out as much as possible. So after I did that, I went ahead and went back to the meat mixture because it was ready. So the meat was cooked through, the veggies were cooked, so I'm going to go ahead and mix it all up and then prepare the sauce to put inside of it. So it's 1 cup of beef broth with 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, and you're going to mix that together and then add it to the meat mixture. And then you're going to add in the ketchup and Worcestershire sauce. It's going to be 2 tablespoons of the ketchup and then 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, and then some salt and pepper, and let it kind of cook all together.
That's what my mom
So while that meat mixture is thickening up, I'm just going to add in the cream cheese to the jalapeno poppers. I like to use the whipped cream cheese just because it makes spreading it a little bit easier. However, you could use any kind of cream cheese you would like.
Nothing's growing where your heart is fire, but baby, I bet you're cold without me, even when it's 90 degrees. Without me, I bet that you can get any sleep in that bed, lying awake.
So you saw just a little bit ago that the mixture was nice and thick. So now I'm going to turn off the heat and add some provolone cheese to the top. I usually cut it in small little pieces. However, I only had 2 pieces of the cheese left, so I try to make it go as far as possible. So this is what it would look like. I would typically have a little bit more cheese, but again, I didn't have as much. So I'm just gonna let that sit and melt for a little bit and then finish on the jalapeno poppers by adding the bacon. I don't know why, for some reason I cut the bacon in half. I don't know why, like I said, I did that. So I'm gonna have to end up using 2 of the bacon pieces to wrap the jalapeno poppers. You're just gonna wrap it around. You don't have to use a toothpick or anything to make it stay. Just wrap the jalapeno popper. And then while I was doing this, as you saw a little bit ago, I preheated my air fryer to 400 degrees. So after I was done wrapping them, the air fryer was preheated and I went ahead and stuck them in there. I believe I want to say it was for 5 minutes, and then I checked on them again, and then I don't believe they were done, so I put them in for a little bit longer.
You're so damn cold.
So while those jalapeno poppers are cooking, I'm toasting the buns. I like to use the brioche bun. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but you can use any kind of hamburger bun. So I toast the buns and then just add the sloppy joe mixture on top. And then I checked on the jalapeno poppers. They needed a few more minutes, like I said. So I added 3 more minutes. And then once they were done, I added them to my plate. And there was dinner. It was delicious. I love both of these items. They're so good. And if you try them, let me know down in the comments below. But don't leave yet, because I'm going to be sharing a yummy dessert recipe now.
The sun is always shining right.
So the 2 ingredients you're going to need for this are the Pillsbury crescent rolls and some Nutella. You're just going to divide each crescent roll and then add in the Nutella. You can add in as much or as little as you would like, and then just roll them up and stick them in the oven for 8 to 10 minutes, and you have the perfect yummy dessert. They were nice and soft and gooey, and if you're a Nutella fan or even a crescent roll fan, I have no doubt that you guys are going to love this dessert. So if you tried either one of my recipes, whether it be the dinner recipe or this dessert recipe, go ahead and let me know down in the comments below if you tried it and if you liked it, and hit the like button on this video. And then also don't forget to subscribe. If you guys aren't a subscriber, it's free. Just hit that red button and you'll be subscribed to my channel. It really helps out my YouTube channel, and I would love to have you part of the family. So go ahead and do that, and I will see you in my next one.
So hold on.